Welcome to Wednesday's Granada Reports live across the northwest.
Hello, thanks for joining us. Here's what's coming up on tonight's programme.
It's emergency.
My partner locked me in his property. He won't let me out.
Trapped and terrified. A special report from the front line of the battle against domestic abuse. An exclusive report on how police are trying to rebuild trust with survivors and bring the culprits to justice.
So I've just arrested him for the offence of false imprisonment. So I've got the keys now to the address, and I'm just going to go over there now and obviously speak to the victim and make sure that she's okay.
Stranded on the sands. A warning from rescuers on the northwest lifeboats. A sunny stroll beside the water can quickly go wrong.
First Stockport, next the world. The kickboxing club that's fought its way to the top after starting 20 years ago with just one member.
You've seen the paintings, now meet the master of those matchstick men and women. How Granada delved deep into the life of L.S. Lowry.
And we had plenty of sunshine through today, and we have even more on the way tomorrow. I'll have all of the details later in the programme.
Yeah, so please stay with us. First, though, tonight, domestic abuse is a crime that mostly happens behind closed doors. Its victims often too scared to ask for help. Well, tonight we're taking you to the heart of the battle against the abusers.
We've been granted exclusive access to a response team from Greater Manchester Police who say the majority of the calls they answer are related to abuse in the home.
Well, the force have been heavily criticised in the past for how they've dealt with domestic abuse. GMP say they're now working hard to get things right and encourage those who suffer abuse to speak out.
In the first report of a special investigation into how police deal with this, Lauren Ostrich went out on a night patrol with officers.
It's emergency.
My partner locked me in his property. He won't let me out.
It's 11 p.m. on a Tuesday night, and we're heading to a call. A woman who we're calling Jenny is trapped inside her boyfriend's house.
Down there?
He's locked all the doors and left in his car.
So you've said that the relationship's over with and he's locked you in and he's gone out?
Yeah.
Right, OK, and you've no way of getting out of there?
No.
No, right. We've got an offence here, and it's a serious offence here. We've got false imprisonment. We've got to obviously get you out. We're going to get our colleagues to come down now with a drill kit, and we're going to drill the lock. She has confirmed to us that she is locked in the address. She has no way of getting out. The perpetrator has got the key, and the only key to the address. We're locking him up.
As we're finishing up our filming, a car parks up nearby and dips its headlights. It's Jenny's partner.
You're under arrest for false imprisonment. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Your arrest is necessary for a prompt and effective investigation and to prevent further injury. Do you understand the reason for your arrest?
Of course I understand it.
We've seen the vehicle pull up. Me and my colleague have gone over and the male in question that we were looking for has obviously driven back. So I've just arrested him for the offence of false imprisonment. So I've got the keys now to the address, and I'm just going to go over there now and obviously speak to the victim and make sure that she's okay.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Greater Manchester Police say a third of their arrests last year involved domestic abuse. And Wigan and Lee has the highest number of cases out of all 10 boroughs. For Jenny, this is the 83rd time that she's been in contact with police.
They don't see what is happening or what we can see. She confirmed that she's only been with this male for 3 weeks. Don't know what kind of relationship she's been in previously. I can't imagine that she jumped from one happy relationship straight into this one. And the cycle, it just continues and we just can't stop it.
Wigan and Lee has one custody suite, and every day is Groundhog Day.
False imprisonment, DV related.
So we've been here for I'd say about 20 minutes now, and in that time 3 other people have been arrested and brought in by police officers. All of them are domestic abuse related crimes.
How frustrating is that to see the same abuser tag in yet another person?
They go from relationship to relationship. And it can be quite frustrating, but that's where the police are here to step in, put safeguarding measures in and safeguard everybody by getting them locked up and bringing them to justice.
Until recently, Greater Manchester Police were in special measures. Damning reports by His Majesty's inspectors, followed by the highly critical Baird report, exposed GMP's poor performance on domestic abuse. Inspectors found that officers were failing to respond appropriately to survivors of abuse and investigate cases thoroughly. But the force says they're trying to turn this around. Back at the station, and the team are processing Jenny's case. She didn't want to press charges against her partner. That's common in cases involving domestic abuse. Now, a pilot scheme could offer a new way to protect her. In recent years, the government's made dealing with abuse a priority and tasked police forces with changing how they deal with cases. In Greater Manchester, 3 boroughs, Wigan, Bury and the City of Manchester, are trialling new domestic abuse protection orders, or DAPOs. They allow police to apply for tough restrictions on abusers without the need for victims to go to court. It's a 2-year trial, and if it's successful at protecting people like Jenny, it'll be rolled out nationwide. Lauren Ostrich, ITV News, Wigan and Lee.
And if you've been affected by any of the issues raised in our report tonight, then there's a helpline on screen now, and also details of other support that's available on our website. And in tomorrow's programme, Lauren meets a survivor who says she owes her life to the officers who enforced one of those domestic abuse protection orders.
A bomb disposal expert from the Isle of Man who cleared Russian landmines in Ukraine has been sentenced to 14.5 years in jail by Russia.
Yeah, Christopher Garrett's dedicated his life to making stretches of land safer in Ukraine, but he's been convicted of so-called terrorism charges.
He says the conviction, made in his absence by a Russian-controlled court in Donetsk, is, quote, ridiculous.
And Christopher's been speaking to our reporter Emma Sweeney.
For years, Chris Garrett has risked life and limb to help those stuck in war-torn Ukraine. Using his skills as a bomb disposal expert, he blows up artillery shells and live ammunition dumped by Vladimir Putin's retreating troops.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, firing now.
There is, large amounts of landmines still going in the ground here. There's a lot of IEDs going in the ground. And now with the drone munitions as well, and the FPV drones, this has created a whole new sphere where it used to just be a case of we had landmines and IEDs. Now we have flying IEDs as well, which can end up in places you'd never expect them.
It is dangerous but necessary work. That's why, after previously working with the Ukrainian National Guard, Christopher has more recently co-founded Prevail, a charity which, among other things, provides mine clearance training to others. The task ahead is mammoth.
There's been some wild claims that we're going to get the bulk of it done in the first 10 to 15 years. And yes, potentially large areas will get cleared in those times, but it's the rest of it that's going to take the time. We're still clearing Cambodia, we're still clearing places like Laos, Vietnam, and that happened a very long time ago. So, yeah, I think it's going to be at least 100 years.
The Isle of Man native says his work is helping to save lives. But not so, according to a court in Donetsk, which is under Russian control. It may not be internationally recognised, but it's just handed the 42-year-old a 14.5-year prison sentence in his absence.
I don't really know what to say about it. The charges are ridiculous. Charged for terrorism by volunteering or at times being under contract by the Ukrainian armed forces. I have not once stepped foot out of Ukraine towards Belarus. I've never been to Russia. I've never been involved in any actions directly on the border.
Chris believes the ruling is part of a scare tactic by the Russians, and with no sign of a ceasefire in Ukraine anytime soon, he insists it won't stop him from continuing with his vital work. Emma Sweeney, ITV News.
Investigators say a helicopter crash in Australia, which killed a couple from Wirral, was partly due to a faulty radio. Ron and Diane Hughes from Neston died when 2 helicopters collided in mid-air in Queensland in 2023. The incident occurred when one helicopter was taking off and the other was landing. Australian safety authorities found a defective radio and the pilot's limited visibility contributed to the crash.
Now, with the sun shining so much at the moment, many of us will be making the most of it and no doubt heading out to the coast.
Yeah, indeed. But as families go to the beach over the Easter break, there's a warning from the RNLI who say spring tides are fast and high.
Stay there for me, yeah? Don't move. Okay, yeah, wait for me. Just walk along there. Okay.
Well, as you can see here, lifeboat crews at Hilbrae Island, just off the coast of West Kirby, rescuing 2 people who were cut off by the speed of that incoming River Mersey.
Well, Victoria Grimes is in West Kirby for us tonight. Vicky?
Hi Rob, hello Katie. Well, it is incredible, isn't it, when you look at that footage of what the guys on the lifeboat do to rescue people when they get stuck. Will, you were involved in that rescue, and it's a good job that you were around, really, wasn't it, just by chance?
I mean, yeah, so I was down the station doing routine maintenance, and I had the landline go. I was on the phone to our launch authority, and I was able to reassure the casualties and pass over all the information to our launch authority, so we were able to get a fast, quick rescue out to them.
You got out there really, really quickly, didn't you, and brought them back safely. And, you know, you're out doing a training exercise tonight because these things keep happening, don't they? So you guys have got to go and keep practising.
Yeah, pretty much.
Keep practising. So we'll let you crack on with that. Will, thank you. Lads, you're good to go, good to go. Well, as I said, this keeps happening. Andy, you're in charge, aren't you, here? You've been at 22 years at West Kirby Lifeboats. Why is the message not getting through to people about where they should and shouldn't go, do you think?
There's a number of us in charge here, but I think that's the key thing, isn't it? The season's coming round, the sun shines out. What a great time to come and visit the coast. It's beautiful here. But with that come the tides, and the tides come in very, very fast. As we've seen over the last sort of 5 days with the shouts that we've had, the 5 shouts we've had over 6 days, it can really catch people out, and that's the tricky part of it. It's understanding that that tide comes in very, very fast from different directions. So you've got to be very careful, because you could be looking at the Instagram moment, and before you know it, you're like Robinson Crusoe standing on the sand there.
Well, that's a very good point, isn't it? The Instagram moment, because people are out there, they're taking photos. If the weather's like it is this week, it's gorgeous. People want that shot, don't they? But it's just not worth it.
No, it isn't. And I think the great thing is most people, if you're taking that Instagram message, you've got your mobile phone. So for me, that's a means of communication. Make sure it's fully charged, and understand that if you think you or someone else is getting into trouble, phone 999 and ask for the Coast Guard, because that's what it's really there for.
And the lads are doing this exercise at the moment. Sorry, and I should say the girls as well, because Lindsay's out there as well, isn't she?
Yeah.
They're doing this exercise at the moment because you're going to be practising all the techniques that you need to be able to rescue people safely. Are you expecting to see more cases like this summer, especially now that we're on Easter holidays with all the kids?
Yeah, so we've got the children off at the moment, which is fantastic. Please come down to the coast, it's beautiful. Remember to check the tide tables, and when you come down, really understand that there's some big spring tides coming at the moment. That means that they're very big tides, but also very fast tides, and they're the ones that can really catch people out. So if you do come down, make sure you're aware of them. 999, ask for the Coast Guard, and please really remember, if you get into the water, lie back, put your arms and legs out, and float to live.
Float to live. Andy, that is great advice. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Well, lovely weather here. We've seen all kinds of people getting on the boats. There's people doing hoverfoiling, all kinds of things. A few brave souls are even swimming in their swim trunks as well. Back to you guys.
Swimming? Man alive. Victoria and West Kirby, thank you very much indeed.
Very brave. OK, right, it's time for sport now. And a war of words has broken out ahead of Manchester United's Europa League tie with Lyon, David.
Yeah, that's right. This involves United's goalkeeper Andrea Nana and the former Reds midfielder Nemanja Matic, who now plays for the French club. Well, the two sides meet tomorrow night in the first leg of their quarter-final. Ahead of that, Nana said that United are a way better team, while Matic was asked about those comments today and clearly wasn't impressed.
If you are one of the worst goalkeepers in Man United history, you need to take care what you are talking. You know, if David De Gea or Peter Schmeichel or Van der Sar said that, then I will question myself. But if you are one of the statistically the worst goalkeepers in Man United modern history, then you know he needs to show that before he says. So we will see.
That's some spice to the tie, doesn't it? Well, next to the return of Jurgen Klopp to Liverpool for the first time since leaving the club last year. The former manager will be back in the city. He's the guest speaker at next month's LFC Foundation Gala Ball. And the timing could be perfect for any potential title-winning parties, as it falls just ahead of the final weekend of the Premier League season. Well, to the Football League now, where Burnley are off the top spot in the Championship after a goalless draw at Derby. They're behind Leeds on goal difference. Elsewhere, Blackburn ended a run of 5 straight defeats, coming from 2 goals down to draw 2-2 with Sheffield Wednesday. It was the same scoreline for Preston, who drew 2-2 with Cardiff, while in League One Bolton lost. And Wigan are now 7 points clear of the relegation places after a 1-1 draw at Exeter. Well, next to the kickboxing club from Stockport that's the best in Britain and now wants to rule the world. Energised Martial Arts Academy won an impressive 73 medals, including 38 golds at the recent national championships. Now 5 of their fighters have qualified for the World Championships in Abu Dhabi. As the leading kickboxing centre in the country, Energised Martial Arts Club in Stockport is home to a host of champions and has the trophies to prove it. From humble beginnings, owner and head coach Carl Thomas has now grown the club into one of the most successful in the world.
I started the club, this is 20 years ago. Little one-man band. I finally got 1 student through the door. We've managed to go all the way through now. 20 years later, we are 400 members strong, dominating the majority of tournaments in the UK, and we've now moved abroad and we're doing the same thing there as well.
And how safe is it?
This is probably, I think, one of the safest forms of combat that you can possibly do. In light contact, points and kick light, you hit too hard, you get a contact warning, you can get disqualified.
At this year's national championships, the club finished top of the medals table, winning 38 golds. 2 of those belong to 24-year-old Trinity Leeson Rice. What do people think when you say I do kickboxing?
Most people don't believe me, especially because I'm a primary school teacher. So the children think it's really, really cool. The parents also think it's cool as well, but yeah, most people don't believe me. It's not until I then demonstrate something that they're like, oh, okay, she knows what she's talking about.
So pupils beware, don't mess with Miss.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Well, Rory Harrison has come through the ranks at the club. The double world junior champion turns 18 this year, and that means he's in for a busy few months as he also steps up to the seniors.
It's going to be a stressful year, so end of August I've got the European Championships for juniors, and then straight after that I've got to go straight back into training camp for the Senior World Championships in Abu Dhabi. So going straight into the top level and winning seniors, it'd be a dream come true. So that's what I'm working for, and hopefully all the hard work pays off.
Well, kickboxing is now recognised as an Olympic sport. However, it missed out on selection for the 2028 LA Olympics. But the hope is that in future games, fighters from this club could represent their country on the biggest sporting stage.
Not just to me, but to all the athletes that have trained and dedicated their whole life to kickboxing. It'd feel like we've finally got something to showcase the skills to the world showcase, and at the Olympics, the best stage that we could perform on, and for everybody to see us sports and how much we love it, it'd be such an achievement.
Well, whatever level they compete at, this kickboxing community aims to keep generating champions for years to come.
Well done, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, well done to all of them. What a club that is. That's all you sport for tonight.
Brilliant. Thanks so much, David. OK, now his famous paintings of matchstick men and the industrial landscape here in the northwest can only mean one man, LS Lowry.
Yeah, as part of ITV celebrating 70 years of broadcasting, each month we're delving into the Granada archives, and this month Paul Crone heads back to the 1960s to a documentary featuring the legendary artist.
Lawrence Stephen Lowry is 78. He paints. This film is about him and about his journey to an exhibition in London.
A fascinating insight into the life of L.S. Lowry, famous for his distinctive paintings of industrial landscapes and urban scenes in the north of England. Here we get a rare chance to see the man behind the easel.
I live by myself now. I have no relatives. I've lived by myself for 26 years. I've never been married. I've never been abroad. I've never had a telephone. I've never had a motor car.
The Lowry in Salford houses the largest public collection of his works in the world. Experts say the Granada film is revealing on many levels.
I think it's quite an intriguing documentary, because if you're going to it to look for an overview of Lowry's career, with him commentating on how things were going at certain periods of his life, that's not what you're going to get.
I don't want backgrounds. Just want the man. Just want the man only. Just what the subject, man or woman, just what the subject is.
The man who was famous for only ever using 5 colours in his work can be seen travelling to London to oversee an auction of his drawings and paintings.
I don't think they like anything at all sordid in London. I think they like pretty things. I don't think they like reality.
What I love about the documentary, which was filmed in 1966, is that there aren't any agents or public relations people telling Lowry what to say and what not to say. And nobody told Granada what they could or they couldn't film. It's simply Lowry, warts and all.
I start a picture off, and very often I don't know what I'm going to do. I think Picasso's very true there. He said he starts a thing and then he has to let it takes its own, follows its own course, like taking a dog for a walk.
You get a very unique look at the inside of his house, for example, which you do see in other photographs. But that's why a documentary like this is so important, because it's not just what he says, it's what you see around him.
I've been painting a long time now, and I've got rather tired of it. I've been at it for a very long time, and now in my extreme old age, I'm getting very tired of it.
Mr. Lowry is just one of hundreds of thousands of programmes held in the ITV archives, and we'll make sure we hang on to these televisual treasures. Paul Crone, ITV News.
He was getting tired of painting. That's amazing. You can see the full documentary, Mr. Lowry, on our ITVX page right now. Just choose the news category and make sure your region is set to Granada.
Just time now for a look at the weather. Here's Louise.
Why do I need a shower? I've been out in the rain.
The faster you go, the sooner you'll be out. You'll save water too.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Hello there, good evening. We had plenty of fine, dry and bright weather around today, and we can expect even more spells of sunshine through tomorrow. Wind staying on the light side, feeling quite warm and pleasant if you're out and about, but it will turn quite cool and chilly in the overnight period. High pressure continues to dominate our weather and will do so for the next couple of days at least. It's slowly starting to drift southward, so we will start to lose that onshore flow across eastern areas, feeling warmer there with some bright and sunny spells as we move through the next couple of days. So tonight, a few late spells of sunshine to end the day. Clear skies will develop for most, but across northern areas we see some low cloud mist and fog forming as we move through the early hours. There is a possibility of a touch of frost in the coldest rural spots as temperatures fall close to freezing with light winds. So tomorrow gets off to a cool and chilly start for most. Any low cloud mist and fog will quickly lift and break, burning back to leave plenty of fine, dry, bright and sunny weather as we move through into the afternoon tomorrow. Wind staying on the light side, feeling quite warm and pleasant if you're out and about. Highs around 17 or 18 degrees Celsius. We have 15 degrees across the Isle of Man. Winds will stay on the light side as we move through into Friday as well. Lengthy spells of sunshine again developing. Temperatures in Liverpool reaching around 18 degrees Celsius, so above average for what we would expect this time of year. Plenty of sunny spells on the way over the next couple of days. Highs of 18 or 19 through Friday. More in the way of cloud through Saturday, but still holding on to that sunshine again. Temperatures above average for this time of year. We see a change in type through Sunday with the arrival of some rain and cooler temperatures back closer to around average. Bye-bye.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Thanks, Louise. No, we don't want to hear about rain. That's it for Granada Reports this Wednesday evening. Our late update is after news at 10.
But hearing about all that sun, do be careful on the coast. That warning from the RNLI worth repeating. From the whole team, thanks for watching. Have a great night.
Bye-bye.